Hey boys and girls, welcome back to another Pit Stop Scale Model Garage video in conjunction with BNSF 6951 Model Railroad Channel. Last week I did a show and tell with the two locomotives you see right there in front of you. Today, in this video, I am going to give you a ride from this area right here, which is the lower area of my layout in room number 1. Keep that in mind when I say room number 1, because we're going to transverse from room 1 to room 2, back to room 1, and back to room 2. So, with all that being said, there's going to be different locomotives on this one. I didn't mention this in my last one, but these locomotives are actually have computer chips in them, and I'll explain in one of my other videos how why these computer chips are so fun to have in your locomotives. Anyhow, we are going to transverse the helix. I did speed it up a bit because I didn't want to take so long going up the helix at scale speed. And I do show on my throttle the scale speed that I'm doing. And we, as model railroaders, try to keep our trains running at scale speed. And we do have a speedometer to test it. We do. Anyhow, enough of my yappity yap. Let's get on with this video and see a train go from train room number 1 all the way up to the top of train room number 2. Be right back. Bye. Okay, boys and girls, this is going to be an early morning run with 3 ES44CWs pulling a train out of train room number 1, which is downtown Phoenix, and we'll be going into train room number 2 here very shortly. So let's wait for that transition to happen, and then we'll continue from there. Now this is a train that I put together just for the fun of it, just to do this. Now we get into room number 2, and we have to get the conductor out there to switch the track so we can go on to main line number 2, which is going to take us up the helix as we transverse the layout. So here we go. And sometimes with these N-scale trains, going across turnouts the way this train is going across could present problems with derailments and so on and so forth. But we all have converted, pretty much all of us have converted from the plastic wheels that come with the kits to metal wheels, which give us a better ride and I guess you could say traction, and it keeps the track clean. Alright, we're going to go around this here circle. Now from this point to the next curve is about 13 feet long. And so we'll just watch it, and I have plenty of industry that's in this area. This is basically a switching layout. I just did that these extra runs just to say I built a BNSF railroad. Anyhow, we'll continue on with this. You can see right there in the left-hand corner, that's part of my living room that you can see. The room that we're in now is actually a den. Which this layout no longer exists since I had to do the flooring in my entire house. This layout has been demolished in this room and the other room. Excuse me. Alright, so that from that curve to this curve was 8 feet, and now this is going to be the approach to the helix. And once we get to the helix, I am going to speed it up just a bit because otherwise it would take too long to do the video. The helix represents all the small towns that this train goes through to get to the next area of the layout. So I actually have 2.2 miles of track in the helix by itself. Now I'm showing you that throttle right there. Speed step 7 is out of 28 speed steps. So it's actually running about 25 miles per hour scale speed. Now this helix is a 20-inch diameter. The wider the wider the radius, the better it would be, because it would you could lower the grade that you're trying to accomplish. This grade right here is 2%, and there is 6 loops. Goes up a total of 16 inches, or 16 or 18. I don't remember. I think it was 18 inches. We're going to slow the train down as soon as we get to the top of the helix. This is one of my favorite scenes right here, when the train comes out of here and goes around this part of the right about there. Now this next section that's coming up is actually an S-curve, which I think is really, really cool. Now we're going to be going across a bridge, and that bridge is called the Aqua Fria Dry River Bed. Most of the rivers here are dry unless it rains really hard. Then our rivers start flowing. Now this is going over the section that took us up to this section right here, as you can see down there on the bottom. Now this is another bridge. There's a total of 7 bridges on my layout. This bridge goes across the Hacienda River. Again, another dry river unless it rains. And I forgot the name of the town that this is in. Can't remember. Anyhow, we are on level ground right now. What I mean by level, there's no grade right here. Ever since we came out of the helix, it's all level grade. Now we're going through the town of Wickenburg, and the buildings you see over there on the right are all 3D printed by my buddy John, who is another model railroad enthusiast. I asked him if he could do it for me, and he did. And all those buildings now are all painted. Now we're going back into room number 1. Remember I said that at the beginning. This all was in room number 2. But now we're going to hit room number 1. And room number 1, right here, the grade changes again to another 2% grade. Alrighty, and we're going to be going across Little Hell Canyon right here, and it's Hell, not Hells, but an S, just H-E-L-L, Hell. I built the towers on that. I didn't like the ones that came with the kit. They were oversized, so I built the towers on those. Most of the buildings you see in this layout are all built by me, scratch built. Now we're still climbing a grade here of 2%. Now when we get to the next section, we're going to increase the grade by another 0.5%, so I can get up to that final bridge. So right here the grade changes from 2% to 2.5%. And the cement plant that you see right there, when the people bought that cement plant, there was a stipulation from the seller. The seller stipulated that there had to be a piece of property on that grounds that had the family cemetery. Yeah, the family cemetery. So they complied, and of course there is a cemetery on the grounds of that cement plant. Alright, right here we reach summit. And this bridge is 3 feet long and is 16 inches above the lower deck. I built that bridge. It was fun to build, and everybody loved that bridge. All piers and all of that stuff was all built by me. Now the next town we get to is called Ash Fork. This train technically would be stopping right there. And the only way it can go from here is along the I-40 going eastbound. So this is the fictitious part of my layout. up to this point was all pretty much prototypical. But now, as you can see, we're going to start another grade here, another 2% grade. Because we're going to go back into room number 2, but instead of going through the wall, we're going to go through the door. And you'll see part of that as we go into the next scene here. But as you notice, it's still the same train, still scale speed, and we are tracing this layout pretty nice. Okay, now we are back into room number 2. We are still pulling a grade, still 2% grade here. And in this room I had the track, there's 4 track in that section that you see right in front of you. There's 4 track there, so I put each one of them on a different elevation. So if 2 trains were passing each other, that one would be higher than the other, which I thought would look pretty good. This radius is the same as the radius below because we are on top of the helix right now. Now all the scenery that you see here, the scenery is done by me. All the rock carvings that you might see, that's all done by me also. In fact, you'll see some coming up here real soon. Now this area here, I developed it or designed it that when you come into this room, there's a switch track or a turnout. I could have taken the turnout and done the scenic route, but this is like a train that's going to a destination, which is Kingman, Arizona. And we are coming up to that pretty soon here. You can see all those trees. I bought every one of those trees made by another one of my model railroad enthusiast buddies. But we are pulling into Kingman, Arizona. Now in Kingman, Arizona is where you can catch the train, the Grand Canyon tourist train. You take you up to the Grand Canyon. But this train is going to pull into the makeshift yard that I have, and it's going to park itself. And maybe in the next video I'll show you these locomotives here will actually do a return trip with a train that's going back to Phoenix. Anyhow, that's the way I designed my layout, and I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Pit Stop Scale Model Garage and BNSF 6951 out for now. Toodles!